Hi folks, this is Karim Rao from IT Visualizer channel. We continue our lab, the Red Alert Lab. This is the video number 66. I've been discussing in the previous video the following. We have began a series of videos, okay, to make Windows 11 master image. So we will test the latest operating system from Microsoft, which is Windows 11. We will test all of its features. We will install on it different programs, especially the open source programs needed by all users, and we will do some tips and tricks to make the Windows 11 more faster, and we will have good performance from this operating system. So our sole purpose is to install Windows 11, to test all of its features, to install different programs on it, to make the different tweaks to make it more efficient, and then we will take an image from the machine that we have installed all of these things on it, the programs and the tweaks. We will take an image of this machine with Windows 11 installed on it, and we will apply it to different machines in our network. So in the previous video we have talked about how we can make an upgrade plan to Windows 11 in our network. So we all now are working with Windows 10, and the latest Windows 10 released by Microsoft is Windows 10 21H2. So we have discussed the different versions of Windows 10. Okay, we have said that there is a lot of versions from 15.05 until now, which is version 21H2, and we have discussed there is different flavors of Windows 10. There is Windows 10 Home, there is Windows 10 Pro, there is Windows 10 Enterprise, and we have said that most of the recommendations when you are working in a production environment, or you are working in a corporate environment or large corporate environments, to install Windows 10 Enterprise, which has different or has more security features to secure your operating system. Pro have the same, by the way, but Windows 10 has more security features to secure your operating system. So we have discussed the different versions of Windows, which of them are expired and which of them are still supported by Microsoft. We have said there is only three versions of Windows 10 supported by Microsoft, which is Windows 10 21H2 and 21H1 and 20H2. So these are all of the operating systems supported by Microsoft, and we have said that the Windows 10 will expire as a whole, Windows Home or Pro or Enterprise, at October 14, 2025. So we have only from now until the expiry date, you have only 3 years to plan to upgrade to Windows 11. Okay, and we have said also that Windows 11 first version released, it is 21H2, and it will end at 2023. So, and we discussed a lot of other things in the previous video to plan an upgrade plan to upgrade your Windows 10 to Windows 11. Okay, so we have stopped the last time at installing Windows 11. We will see after installing the Windows 11 the different features, and we will discover it, and we will see how we can tweak it and make a lot of enhancement on the operating system to make it more fast. So here we have stopped the last time at installing the Windows 11 operating system. So it will take a little bit of time, and then we will see the new interface of Windows 11, which seems to be more like the Macintosh Pro, or like the Mac OS. It seems more like it. Most of the people say that this version of Windows 11 is more likely like the Macintosh graphical interface. So let's see the different features and how we can tweak it to our benefit to make it more efficient. Now we will restart the machine. The first thing you need to do when you are installing any operating system in VMware Workstation Pro is to install VMware tools on this virtual machine to make it more faster, and to make an integration between your laptop and this virtual machine, or between your host and your guest. Okay, so with these tools you will be able to share something between your laptop and this virtual machine, or between your host and your guest. Now we are see that different phases of Windows 11. Now this is the graphical interface. We will choose the region that we are in. I will choose the United States and then yes. So you see graphical interface is a little bit different than the Windows 10 setup graphical interface. This is out of the box experience of Windows 11. Okay, so it seems to be different than the one that we are working before in Windows 10. Now we will choose the keyboard layout. I will choose the English keyboard, and then I will add the Arabic keyboard. By the way, I have a script to add this keyboard automatically when this machine will join the domain, but anyway I will put it manually. So I will install the Arabic Egyptian keyboard, and then we will add the layout. And then here is telling us if we have any network. Okay, so here I'm not connected to the internet, okay, because I didn't tell him to do so. So when we finish the installation, we will put a static IP address so this machine can access the internet. Now we need to see this message. Let me discuss this message, or just say this message, or it says here that access full range of apps will help you work and play what you want when you connect to a network and sign in with Microsoft. So here he's saying that you can use some applications on this Windows through the internet. I think he is talking about the Windows App Store. There is some applications in the Windows App Store that if you want to access it, you need to have internet and you need to have a Microsoft account to access these applications through the Windows App Store. Okay, so we will not use the App Store anyway, so I tell him continue with limited setup. I do not need to access the apps on the Windows Store, or the apps that needs to sign the apps that need to have a Microsoft account to sign in to it or to use it. Okay, we are in a corporate environment, so we only authorize Windows accounts only to be used, not any other third-party accounts. Okay, anyway, so we will continue with limited setup. And then I think he will ask about the secret questions. These are questions to be asked and you provide to give you a password. Anyway, first we need to sign in or create an account that we will sign in with in this Windows. Okay, and it's by default will be the second local administrator account. So he will be, this account will be the local administrator or the second local administrator on the machine, because there is a first local administrator and it was this account used to install the Windows with, and it is disabled. Okay, so this is the second administrator account. You can enable the first administrator account if you need, but anyway Windows 11 will disable the first local administrator account, and it will ask you to create a second local administrator account to use it on this machine. Anyway, so we'll provide a password, and then next we will confirm the password. It should be a strong password and a complex one. Okay, and then he will ask you secret questions. By the way, there is a little bit of a notice here. The secret questions are always doesn't change. Most of the secret questions tell you, for example, what is your first pet name, what is your first school name that you are attended, or the first school name that you apply to, or that you are in, for example, your primary school, your secondary school. Anyway, these questions have a fixed answer. Okay, so this is a security point. Okay, so if this question is asked, I prefer to put an irrelevant answer. So for example, if he asks you, for example, what is your first pet name, you can tell him 123@.com/ so and so. So it will be an irrelevant answer and something not related to the question, because this will make the hacker job more difficult to guess the answer for your question. Okay, so your secret question. So I prefer to put a difficult answer, okay, or an irrelevant answer, and you need to remember it. Okay, some people ask or put the answer for their secret questions to be a password or a strong password. So for example, if we have used KeePass before, you can use the KeePass password generator utility to get a password and put it to be an answer in the secret question, or to be an answer for the secret questions, but you need to memorize it, or you put it aside, or to know it very better. So you should not answer the secret question with a familiar answer or with a fixed answer. Okay, you should answer it with an irrelevant answer, because the hacker can guess your first pet name, he can guess your first school that you attended to or you attended in. So you should make an irrelevant answer. Anyway, so we will do this. I will answer the questions, and then we choose close all of the privacy setting. Most of them, for example, one setting will reveal your location, other setting will send the data to Microsoft web servers, or to Microsoft servers concerning the performance of your machine and the programs in your machine. This could be a security or a privacy issue for some corporates. So we need to close all of them, and we will make a group policy, and we have done this already, to close all of these privacy settings. Anyway, so we will close all of these privacy settings. Okay, tailored experience, all of these are data to be sent to Microsoft advertising ID. So we will close all of this setting, and then we should see the desktop of Windows 11. We will take a little bit of time. This is the first animation or first welcome animation screen. You can disable it, by the way, but this is familiar when you are creating an account and logging in with it for the first time. Here we can see this is the interface, and the desktop appears to be more like the Mac OS. Anyway, first thing we need to do is to install the VMware tools. Okay, so we can work with this machine efficiently and to share things between the laptop and my virtual machine. Okay, so we will install the VMware tools. Here we go. We will open the DVD, and then we will install the VMware tools and the setup to be 64-bit, because this is Windows 11 64-bit, and by the way, there is no 32-bit Windows 11 system. There is only 64-bit. Okay, anyway, so we will install the VMware tools, and then he will ask us to restart the machine after installing the VMware tools, because it will install some video card drivers, keyboard, mouse, and a lot of things actually, and it will install some things to share, to open share between your laptop and this virtual machine. Anyway, so we will wait until the tools are installed, and then we will begin working with this Windows 11, okay, to tweak it and to make it more easy to use, okay, and to have more performance or best performance from it. Anyway, we'll tell him to install VMware tools complete tools, and we will install, and then as we see here, the display is a little bit changed. Okay, and then we will restart the machine. We will wait for a couple of seconds, and then it is restarting. We'll pause the video, and then we can log in again to the machine. This is my local or second local administrator account, which is Kira04. So we can see here that, for example, I don't like that the start menu, it is in the middle. We need to make it at the left. We will see this later, but first of all I need to shut down the machine, okay, and make something to make this machine access the internet. I needed to put it on a certain network that I can have access to the internet through it. I will make it on a network here in VMware. It's something called VMnet 8. VMnet 8, this network in the VMware Workstation Pro, this network I have through it access to the internet. Okay, so I need this machine to have access to the internet, so I will put the network adapter or the network VMnet 8. This will have access to the internet, and it doesn't have DHCP enabled on it, so I need to put a static IP address so this machine can access the internet. So let's change the network adapter from NAT to make it VMnet 8. So here I will choose not Bridget. By the way, it's not Bridget. Nope, this is not Bridget. So here I will make it not Bridget, I will make it VMnet 8. So here we will make it VMnet 8. So we will choose this one and make it VMnet 8, not Bridget. No, this is not correct. So again I will go and let's wait for a moment. Here I will make it from Bridget to VMnet 8. Okay, so here if we open it, not VMnet 0, so we'll go there again and we VMnet 8. So again, not this one. So here again I will change it to VMnet 8 again. So here, just wait for a moment. So here I will go and just wait for a moment again, guys. So here I will change this network or the network adapter to be VMnet 8, to be NAT. Okay, this is a NAT. Okay, so now let's see, when we open the machine and try to access the internet, we will be able to access the internet, but first we need to give it a static IP address. So we will pause the video and then we'll log in again, and then so here now we need to go and open the control panel and change the IP setting or set the IP setting for this machine. First of all, we need to personalize. I need some icons to appear on the desktop. One of them is the control panel, this PC, recycle bin, some icons to appear. So we'll go to personalize and then we need to go to themes. Okay, go to themes. Okay, and then we need to go to desktop icons setting. Then we need to click on computer user files control panel, and you will leave network aside. Okay, so we don't need the network to appear on the desktop, because this profile will be the default profile for every user on the machine. Okay, so I'll make my admin profile to be the default profile for every user on this machine. Anyway, so we'll open the control panel. We will change the view to small icons. Okay, I prefer this view, and then we'll open network and sharing center, and then we will open Ethernet. This is the network card, and then we will open properties, and we will set an IP address for this machine, which will be 192.168.1.11. Okay, so we'll set the IP address 100. This is the subnet mask, and the default gateway will be 12. It is the VMware Workstation Pro program itself. So the VMware Workstation program will act as a virtual router. Okay, so this IP will talk to my real router, which is 192.168.1.1, which will get it out to the internet. Okay, so this is a virtual router. It will talk to my real router or my real home DSL router, which is 192.168.1.1, and get it out to the internet. So this machine will talk to my virtual router, and my virtual router will talk to my real router. And the DNS will be, we can put Google DNS, and I can put the DNS of my virtual router. Okay, because this is a router and a virtual DNS server as well. Anyway, so we'll put both. Okay, this is a public DNS. Okay, DNS server. In the first time I put the IP address, I didn't get to the internet. Okay, so this is weird. I didn't get to the internet, so I tried to disable and enable the network card, and then after that I was able to access the internet. This is the first time I have such a problem. Basically, when I create a virtual machine and make it as NAT, or put my network card on a virtual router, I can get to the internet easily. But this time I needed to disable and enable the network card. So here I didn't get to the internet, so I disabled the card, and you will enable it back. So here we will see that I can access the internet. Now I have access to the internet. So now we need to begin tweaking this system. First thing we need to do is to open the system restore option, okay, and to enable a virtual memory. Let's see first the first thing we need to do, and we'll discuss one by one what we need to do. First of all, we need to go to the internet, and just wait for a moment, guys. So I will go to the internet and I will install a software, something called Open Shell program. This was previously known as Classic Shell. It is something that will change the start menu of Windows 11 to be more like Windows 7. Okay, we will show you all how we can do this. And Classic Shell is not working anymore. It is changed from Classic Shell to Open Shell. The one who, or the most of you that are working with Classic Shell, it is already discontinued. It is now renamed, or it is now changed from Classic Shell to another project called Open Shell, and it is now supported by different developers, or different team of developers. Anyway, so we'll go and open our Edge browser, and we will install, or we will download the Open Shell program. Anyway, now we will need to go and click this PC and properties, and then we need to first thing we need to add more virtual memory. Okay, so let's see first what we will do. What is the virtual memory? First of all, we go to the visual performance setting. First of all, we need to use this option, adjust for best performance, to make the Windows more faster. These are all options, or graphical options, or animations that will make the Windows less fast, or it will make it a little bit slow. So when I tell him to adjust for best performance, we are disabling all of the graphical features that make the Windows 11 heavy or make it more slow. So first of all, we need to change the performance setting to be adjust for best performance, not for adjust for best appearance. And then we will add something called virtual memory. What is the virtual memory? It is the same like the real memory, okay, but this virtual memory, actually it is a part from your hard disk which will act as a memory. It's a virtual memory. This is not a hardware memory, or it's not a real memory. Okay, this virtual memory help to increase the performance of the machine. So for example, if you have a real memory of 8 GB of RAM, okay, we should make a virtual memory to be double of it. This is a rule. If you have a RAM of 8, you should make a virtual memory of 16. So you add 8 and 16, now we have about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have 25, total of 25 GB of RAMs, 8 real and 16 to be virtual. So this will increase your performance of your machine, okay, when you create more virtual memory. But actually the virtual memory, its performance, it's not like the real memory, okay, because this virtual memory, it is only a part of your hard disk that will act as a memory, and writing and reading from the hard disk, it's not as fast as writing and reading from your real memory. Anyway, it is a best practice to increase your virtual memory and to make it double your real memory. The virtual memory will increase the performance of the machine. Anyway, so we will go to advanced, and then we will increase the virtual memory. This virtual memory, you can make it to any partition. So I will prefer to make it to the C partition, which is the operating system partition. When you make a virtual memory more on your C partition, this will increase the performance of the machine. Okay, so we will change automatically manage paging file, we will change it, and we will set by manually our virtual machine for the C partition. You can do it for the D partition as well, but I prefer it only to be to the C partition. Okay, so we'll do this and tell him custom. So it is here double, it should be double. Here I have my RAM to be 4, so here I make it double 8, and the maximum, this is 8000 megabyte, which is 8 gigabyte, and the maximum to be 9000 megabyte, which is 9 gigabyte. So we have set this machine. Okay, so we have set the virtual memory, we have increased the performance, or we have adjusted the performance, and then we need also to do another thing, to open something called system restore. Let's see what is also the system restore. First of all, I need to him to apply. Okay, so now we can see here that we have this is system restore. What is system restore? System restore is basically an option on Windows to take copy of the most important file systems to be taken as a copy. Okay, so when one of these file systems are corrupted, it can be restored back. So you can make a system restore on any partition, but I prefer it to be on the C partition, which contains a lot of important system files. So this system restore, it is an option to take a copy of the most important file systems, okay, or operating system file systems, and take a copy of them regularly on a regular basis. And you should specify a certain amount of your partition to be taken as a space to back up your file systems. Okay, so here we can configure it to be 5% of the C partition, or to be more. I prefer it to be 10%. Okay, so we'll go there and we will configure it is only 5%, which is 10 gigabyte of the C partition. Now we will make it as 10. So here you have about 20 gigabyte will be allocated to backup of your file system, or to be for system restore points. Okay, this will be taken regularly on regular basis. Okay, and I prefer another option to be opened. By the way, I didn't included it in the video. We need to also open something called remote. So we need to go to properties and then change setting, or advanced system setting, sorry. So we'll go advanced system setting and system protection. After that, remote, we need to enable desktop or remote desktop to allow remote desktop connections to this computer, but only for authenticated users, or to users that are authenticated within your network, to have a domain account, or the one that you authorize to access remotely to this machine. And I prefer to disable allow remote assistant. This is an option we have discussed during displaying, or during talking about the recommendations of the Department of Defense. You should disable this remote assistant option because it is not useful. A user can use this option to allow users from outside your network to access remotely to this machine, and they can be not authenticated. Okay, they are not from within your network, they can be from outside your network, so you don't know them, and they are not authenticated within your network. Okay, so you should disable this option and enable this one. Okay, so let's continue and see. After that, we will restart the machine, because all of these settings should require a restart. Okay, so restart now the machine. So these are the first 3 tweaks that we have used. First, to tell him to make it best performance, to make the Windows more faster, increase the virtual memory, and open the system restore, or increase the system restore point space allocated to the system restore. Now we need to go and install the OpenShell program. This is a program that will change the way the Windows 11 start menu will appear. So let's go first and open the Edge. But by the way, I need to remove these icons. So here I need to remove the Windows Store icon, because I don't need users to access this, and I need to remove this icon. This is for chat, or this is Microsoft Teams chat. I need to remove it. It's not removed. Right click and unpin. This should be removed from the taskbar setting. We will see this later. Okay, so let me go further here again. So here what we will do, we will go and tell him right click. So we need to remove this again. Let me show you here, guys. So right click and taskbar settings to remove this icon and other icons. So let's go and see how we can remove these icons. We go to personalize. Here we can, for example, remove the chat icon from here. Okay, the widgets, we can remove it. Task view, search, so we can remove all of these icons from the taskbar setting. I need to remove this one and the widgets. These are widgets concerning the weather. Widgets are programs that will do different functions. For example, there is a widget for the weather. This is a very famous one. A widget to display the weather today or a forecast. So I need also to disable this because widgets are third-party programs. I don't know if they are trusted or not. So we need to remove chat from Microsoft Teams chat from the taskbar. Okay, you can use it later if you need, but I do not need it to be displayed always, because this taskbar also takes from the RAM. When the log into the machine for the first time, displaying this taskbar will take some time. So if there is less icons on the taskbar, the windows or the profile will load faster. Okay, so we need to disable this icon, the widgets, and the task view and the search. So we need only the folder to appear. We will need to remove all of the other icons. So let's see. We will remove widgets. Okay, here is the widgets. I try to open it. Okay, this is widgets for the weather. Okay, for the weather. Okay, and other widgets. For example, there is widgets for the operating system, something to display the processor, the RAMs, how much is taken from the processor and the RAM. Anyway, I need to disable it. And also, if you need to access the widgets, you need to have a Microsoft account. I've said before, this is a security point. We do not need to access any software outside our network with an account outside our network as well. So we will remove widgets, task view, and search. We will remove all of these icons. We need only to leave these two icons only. Okay, so this is better. If you need to search, you can search from within the Windows itself. So now we will open, this is a folder, we can search from here. Okay, so we can search here. Okay, or you can search from any place, but we don't need the search to appear as an icon. Okay, you can disable it later, or you can make it appear later. So now we need to go to the internet to install OpenShell. So here we are just clearing the taskbar to be more easier to be loaded the next time. Okay, so what we will do now, we need to do some changes in the original setting, or the setting of this machine. We need to change the time zone, the timing of the machine, and a lot of things actually we need to do. So let's wait and see. We need to go to Windows Update. First of all, there is a little bit of an option we need to disable here, something called delivery optimization. Let me check, or let me tell you what is delivery optimization. Here we can see that there is a lot of updates to be installed. By the way, when you are taking an image of the machine, make sure that your operating system and all the programs on this operating system are updated to the latest update. Okay, or they are updated by the latest update, the Windows or any other program. Okay, so we will now continue. We should install all of these updates now, and we need to disable some feature, or there is a feature in the Windows Update we need to be disabled, something called delivery optimization. First of all, we need to tell him to open an option to receive updates for other Microsoft products. If you do not open this option, if you have Office installed on this machine, you will not get updates to it using the Windows updates. So if this option is disabled, it will only get you updates to the Windows operating system. If you have other Microsoft products and you need them, or you need to get updates for them, you need to open this option. In a network, you don't need to bother yourself with this option because you have a WSOS. Okay, so you will receive updates from the WSOS. Anyway, I prefer it to be opened anyway, if you have a WSOS or not. Anyway, so we will open this option, and then we need to close another option called delivery optimization. Let me show you all what is this delivery optimization, or what does it mean. So we will go further down and see what is the delivery optimization. You can, by the way, I have disabled it using a group policy. I have done this before, and it is in the videos in the Red Alert Lab series. Anyway, so we'll open the delivery optimization, and then we need to tell him not to get any updates from any other PCs within my network. So if you are in a network and you don't have access to the internet, the machine, so you are, for example, have a work group and you have 10 PCs, okay, 9 PCs have access to the internet and 1 doesn't have access to the internet. So this machine that doesn't have access to the internet can talk to other machines that have access to internet to get its Windows update from. This is called devices on my local network. So we need to disable this feature. We need only the Windows to get its update from the WSOS or by accessing the internet directly and getting it from the Microsoft website. Okay, so this is also a recommendation by the Department of Defense. And in all means, I prefer to get Windows update using the WSOS. Okay, it is much more easier and much more less consumable of internet bandwidths. Okay. So we need to disable this option, and this can be done using a group policy, by the way. So we will close this option. So this is some options to be changed, and then we can see here a lot of things appearing. We need to update our check for updates. We need to update the Microsoft Windows Defender. I do not prefer it to be used as a sole program to or to be your preferred antivirus program. No, this should be work with another program. So you need to install a good antivirus, McAfee or whatsoever, and this can be used for malware protection only. And by the way, if any other third-party program or antivirus is installed, Windows Defender is disabled by default. Anyway, so here we are making update to the Windows Defender. Okay, so you should update your operating system. You should update the programs installed on your operating system. You should update your antivirus, because this machine we will take an image from it. Okay, so it should be updated to the latest updates. So now I think now we need to go and install OpenShell. You have seen here that I have searched the internet for OpenShell. It's not anymore named Classic Shell, it is named OpenShell. Okay, so let's install the OpenShell and see if it is different than Classic Shell. Here we will go to the OpenShell program and we will download it. Classic Shell style menu for Windows 7, Windows 8. We will see the interface or the graphical interface. So here we will install the latest version, which is 4.152. This is an exe file, and then we need to install it. So here to take a little bit of time, it's only 6 megabytes, and then we will install it, and we will see the difference between OpenShell and Classic Shell. Okay, there is no much difference between Classic Shell and OpenShell, but there is a difference in the way that it will be implemented. Okay, I will show you all what I mean by this in 1 second. First of all, we need to download the software and then install it. So we'll open the file. Okay, so we'll close it, and then we will install the program. Next, accept the license agreement. Next, then next. Okay, install. We need to tell him yes. Okay, and then we'll install the program and tell him finish. First of all, I don't see classic shell here. When we're installing it on Windows 10, the classic shell appears directly overlapping this icon. You can see the icon of classic shell will appear here, but this was in Windows 10. In Windows 11 there is a little bit of differences, or that we'll do it in a different way. So let's see how we can make the open shell appear. First of all, we need to type the name of the program. Let me show you all. So we'll tell him open shell, okay, open shell dash shell, and then we will open the open shell, and then we need to tell him to replace. Here we need to do something to replace the start menu. What we do here, just wait for a moment. So I'll go there again. So we will open the open shell program, and then we need to tell him to replace start button, this one, to replace it with this icon or this icon. Here it will not replace it, actually it will add another icon. So we need to solve this problem. We will have two start menu buttons. Let me show you all what I mean by this. So we replace it by a classic one, but we have two start buttons. We will have here and we'll have here. Okay, so this is a problem. We need to only have one icon. So we'll go to the taskbar, and what we will do, we need to tell him to move this icon from the middle of the taskbar to the left, so it will be hidden under this start menu button or this start button. So we'll go under no taskbar icon. So how we will not make it disappear, we will just make this icon overlap on it. Okay, so we'll tell him taskbar behavior, and we'll make it from the center to be to the left. Okay, what will happen here, we will see here that the start button has overlapped the real start menu icon. Okay, but it is a little bit, here we can see that another icon is overlapped. We need only the start icon to be overlapped by this one, not this icon. I will show you all how we can do this. So we will go further. What we will do, we will go and do another thing. So let's go for a moment, just wait for a moment. So what I have done here, just wait for a moment. Here I will right click this option. Okay, right click, open the start menu, and then we will tell him, or just not this one, so we'll tell him right click and setting. Okay, and then we tell him to replace this icon. Okay, replace this icon, not this icon, by the way, sorry. So what we will do here, we will tell him not this one. So you'll go to the setting. What I have done here, just wait for a moment again. So I tell him setting. Okay, what I will do, I tell him to go again to tell him arrow button. So I will change the button to be this one. Here we can see that it is overlapped and the icon appeared. It was half overlapped, or it was half appeared. Now it is completely hiding the real start menu button, and the other icons are appearing crystal clear. So now this is a way that we can hide the icon, okay, and have the other icons appearing. So now we will have one start menu button. Okay, and if you need to make it appearing, just make it to the center, okay, or make it as centered. Okay, so now this is very clear, or very simple. Now I think I will shut down the machine. So we have done some configuration. We need to shut down the machine, okay, and take a snapshot of the machine. Until the upcoming video, we will begin working with other tweaks and tips for taking an image of Windows 11. So we'll take a snapshot, and we will make it after, or rename it after, open shell program. Okay, so we'll do this and take a snapshot. Hope this video is informative for you all, and until the next video, thank you for watching and viewing. Thank you so much.